everyone, welcome to week 16, and today we're going to be talking about a very famous composer by the name of Tchaikovsky. So when you get to your lesson, you'll see that the song of the month is there, so you can listen to that, and then you'll come to this page called Talk to Tchaikovsky. And this is just kind of a funny way to remember his name, Chai-T, a cough, and then like skiing, like a winter ski. And there is a hilarious song that Quaver does. So you remember the character Quaver from the videos. And you can tell it's his voice singing this song. And it gets faster and faster until you get to the end, and it's almost too fast to sing. So that's a kind of just a funny way to remember his name. So if you want to sing through that song, it's hilarious. And let me know if you get to the end and are able to do the whole thing as fast as it goes. Then we have two of his most famous ballets, and I'll let him tell you about it. Here we go.
I wrote two of the most famous ballets in history, The Nutcracker and Swan Lake.
So many of you I know have gone to see the Nutcracker, either the Nutcracker on Ice or the Nutcracker Ballet, but he is the composer that wrote that work, and we're going to do a little bit of his, listen to some of his recordings today, and then Swan Lake is another one of his famous ones.
I lived during the Romantic period.
So there are different periods of music. So all the way back to the ancient times, medieval, that's the 14 to the 1600s in there. And then you have the Baroque period, which is like Bach and Handel. And then we move to classical. And then finally we get to Romantic, which is from 1820 to 1910. And the Romantic period, very big, lush harmonies you'll hear. There was the orchestra had gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and this was the largest the orchestras had been. So you'll hear a lot of different instruments playing, and with the type of music that he was writing, it was a good thing because it needed a large orchestra to produce the kind of sounds that he wanted. So we're also going to learn about this right here. So remember this because you'll need this in a little bit.
Fire! My piece, 1812 Overture, calls for the use of a real cannon.
And when you hear the song, you're going to be like, oh, I've heard that before. And a lot of his music, you're going to be like that. We're going to go right here. It says where he lived. And find and click Eurasia on the map, and that is over here. So this is where Tchaikovsky lived. And then over here, you've got the United States of America. So here's Florida. We've got Texas right here. But this is the where we live, and then Russia is here. And of course, the globe is going to go around like this. So you've got Alaska way up here, and the edge of Alaska is only, and it'll tell us in a little bit, I think, on here, about 2.5 miles from Russia. So when you have it on the globe, really the United States is closer to Russia than what it looks like on here. But this is a good view of the distance from our side of the United States. And then we're going to click this. Having more landmass than any other country in the world, Russia is the world's largest country. So by land, it's the largest country, not by the number of people. But you can read a little bit more about the fun facts about Russia there. If you've played the computer game Tetris, where the little blocks come down, you have to keep turning them real quick because they stack up fast. Anyway, it's a game from a long time ago, but I think they still have it around, and it's pretty fun. About his life. So he was born in 1840, and remember that because you'll need that. At the age of 5, he started playing piano. And then when he was 10, look at this, his parents sent him to law school at 10 years old. So they had something else in mind for him, definitely. But he was pretty miserable. And so he did eventually go to the conservatory in St. Petersburg, Russia, and that's here. And you can come back and read more about these. Each one of these have something behind them to tell you a little bit more information. But Romeo and Juliet, which was by Shakespeare, he composed the music to go along with the play of that program. Then his ballet Swan Lake was first performed here in 1877. Then here's when 1812 Overture premiered, and that's the one they said had the cannon. Then there's the Nutcracker, which we're going to focus a little bit on that today. And that's when that premiered, and then he dies in 1893. So here's some of his music. So you can go back and listen to some of this. I did want you to hear the piano concerto. So that song has definitely been used in commercials and movies, and if you've ever seen concerts by orchestras, it's very, with a piano, that piano concerto is very famous, very popular, beautiful. Then I just wanted to play an excerpt from the 1812 Overture, and I bet a lot of you are going to go, ah, I've heard that before. Here we go. All right, so that gives you a little taste of that one, and that's the one that uses the real canon as one of the sounds in the music. So this activity right here, you can go back and do, and I'm going to start it with you because it's very fast, and I wanted to go over the notes, the durations. I also want to remind you of this is the time signature, or the meter. And it's a modified meter, but this would be 4/4 time. So remember, the top number tells you how many beats are in a measure. So we know there are 4 beats in a measure. And then this note right here on the bottom, that lets us know that the quarter note is going to get the beat. So quarter note gets 1 beat. So how many of you remember what this note, what this rhythm gets? And that would be 4 beats, 4 beats of rhythm. And then we have the quarter note, which gets 1 beat, and then our half note, which gets 2 beat. So in this, you'll notice towards the end right here, you've got 4 times, or it says times 4. That means you're going to do that line 4 times. And just for to show the whole note, we're just going to stretch it out like this. So ta, 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 ta. And it's probably easier just to count that in 8. And then the half notes are easy. It's just ta, 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 ta. So let's start that, and then you can go back and try that on your own if you want to find you something like 2 pins you can use to play together. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. Here we go. Do it 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's the half notes. Then you do it again. Third line. Half note, half note. 1, 2, back to the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. Then we're just finishing out with quarter notes in those last 2 lines. Okay, all right, so that song may have sounded familiar, and that is the Russian dance from the Nutcracker. So you can go back and listen to that if you would like to. Let's go on to the quiz and see how much you remember from what we talked about. And this will prepare you for the one that you'll actually submit. So this is the practice. So what musical period did Tchaikovsky live during? And so if you forgot what that was, you can go back and look from here, because this is just the practice quiz. What non-instrument is used in the 1812 Overture? We talked about that. We did not talk about this one. It said, where was Tchaikovsky born? Remember this word, Votkinsk. And that is on the material down here about where he lived. I'm just going to tell you the answer to that one. So it's Votkinsk. What is the name of one of his famous ballets? We had just mentioned that a couple different times. What Shakespeare play shares its name with a Tchaikovsky piece? We went over that. What year was he born? What happens in the Nutcracker? A man starts a peanut farm, a princess is turned into a swan, toys come to life, or a giant food fight? Which one of those makes sense? And how old was he when he was sent to law school? And we talked about that as well. So once you finish that, then you'll go on here and complete the quiz, and then you are done for the day. And if you would like a little extra thing to do, there's a cup game here, and then there's a winter themed play along. That's a little bit challenging, so we'll probably wait to do that one. But there's the cup game that you might enjoy. But once you finish this quiz, then you are done for the day, and I will see you next week. Have a great day.